you know exactly where it hurts. Not vague discomfort, a sharp edge. The moment the weight sticks halfway and your lungs burn. The 10th rejection email after a week of silence. The 5th kilometer when your legs feel like concrete. The deadline you set that now stares back at you like a judge. This is the threshold where most people fold into themselves. Rewrite the plan, rename the pain, and call retreat strategy. That has been you before. Not today. Today, you stand up when it hurts. Not because you enjoy pain, because you respect what pain signals. Adaptation underway, capacity expanding, identity upgrading in real time. Standing is the signal you send back to the world that you will not be negotiated with by sensation. Pain is information, not a verdict. It tells you where you are undertrained, under-recovered, unfocused, or undisciplined. It also tells you where you are alive and pushing the edge. People soft sell this moment because it makes them uncomfortable to watch someone refuse to fold. They preach balance while living imbalance. They talk moderation while practicing avoidance. You will not confuse their comfort with your compass. Your compass is simple. When it hurts and the form is still sound, you keep moving. When form breaks, you fix form and return. That is the clean logic of Progmas, not dramatic, precise. Standing up when it hurts begins before the hurt arrives. It starts with pre-commitment. You choose a standard the night before. You place your shoes by the door, your water on the counter, your plan on paper. You remove the easy exits because you know the morning will bring negotiation. You will not be surprised by it. You will be ready. The alarm is not a suggestion. It is the first test of the day. Feet to floor on the first ring. No bargaining period. You will not donate the first 15 minutes to weakness and then wonder why weakness demands the next 45. The first move sets the tone. The tone carries you into the harder tests. There is a sequence that pulls you through the hurt. Breathe, brace, execute, review, repeat. You breathe to control the signal. Long, steady inhales. Long, steady exhales. Downshift the panic response so your hands can obey. You brace your core metaphorically and literally. You tighten posture and principles. You execute the next action with clean technique, not sloppy thrashing. You review without drama. What worked? What wobbled? What adjusts next set? Then you repeat. The loop is small enough to run under pressure. The loop is strong enough to carry you out of the fire. Pain exposes language. Listen to the words your mouth wants. I can't. It's too much. Maybe later. This is not honesty. It is habit. Replace the reflex with commands. Stay, hold, drive, finish. Short, sharp, executable. You do not have to win the whole war in this second. You win the next rep. You close the loop you opened. You finish the task in front of you. You defend the line you drew in, the calm when your feelings were silent. You protect that line now, that your feelings are loud. Understand the difference between injury and intensity. Injury is form collapsing under load. It is joint pain, sharp and wrong, or a pattern that jeopardizes continuity. You do not push through injury. You fix mechanics and come back smarter. Intensity is muscular burn, breath pressure, the sting of rejection, the fatigue of deep focus. Intensity is the tax you pay to enter the arena where growth lives. The untrained label all stress as danger. Your training teaches you to discriminate. You will become fluent in your own signals. That fluency gives you an advantage that looks like toughness, but is actually clarity. Standing up when it hurts is not a solo performance of stubbornness. It's a system you build around yourself that makes the right choice inevitable. You place friction between you and the behaviors that numb pain and steal progress. Junk food out of the kitchen. Social apps off the phone during work blocks. Notifications off by default. You place fuel by the behaviors that convert pain into growth. Meals prepped. Gym bag packed. Project broken into atomic actions. Scripts prepared for hard conversations. When the moment hits, you don't hunt for tools. You pick them up and use them. Discomfort is your honest teacher. It strips your identity down to behaviors and asks, do you finish? When you choose to stand, you stack evidence that you are the person who finishes under strain. Evidence accumulates faster than affirmation. You do not need to chant confidence into existence. You need to close loops in ugly weather. You need to put the last kilo on the bar and make it move with technique. You need to send the proposal even when your stomach tightens. You need to keep your voice level in the meeting where honesty will sting. Each completion under pain is a brick in your new foundation. Over time, you stop performing courage. You become a person for whom courage is normal. You will meet the saboteur inside you, the one who offers logical exits. Stop early to recover. Save energy for tomorrow. You've done enough for today. Sometimes that voice is correct. Most times it is the soft engineer of stagnation. The cure is predefined finish lines. 5 sets means 5, not 4.5. 45 minutes of deep work means 45, not until I feel bored. 8 hours of sleep means lights out on schedule, not when you finish scrolling, feeling as a weak clock. You switch to objective measures. The more objective your standards, the less room there is for sabotage. When pain spikes, shrink the battlefield. Your mind gets loud because it zooms out and sees the whole mountain. You narrow the frame. You don't climb a mountain. You take the next step with precise feet. If you're under a bar, you don't lift a total. You drive through the sticking point inch by inch while staying tight. If you're writing, you don't deliver a manuscript. You write the next paragraph clean. If you're selling, you don't land the quarter. You make the next call with a clear offer. Small frames make big loads solvable. You will not become a martyr. Standing up when it hurts is not about worshiping suffering. It is about using suffering. You push, you finish, you recover. Recovery is not weakness. It is conversion. Recovery turns stress into capability. Eat like you respect your mission. Hydrate so your joints and brain can fire. Walk to clear the residual noise. Stretch to keep the machine moving well. Sleep like an elite, because that is what you are training to be in your own domain. Then return to the edge. Those who mock recovery brag about burnout like it is a badge. Burnout is poor engineering, not heroism. The crowd will misunderstand your discipline. They will say you are obsessed, too serious, missing out. They see only the moments you say no. They do not see what you are saying yes to. A future where you don't flinch. A body that answers commands. A bank account that buys you time. Skills that keep you valuable. A reputation that opens rooms. Let them keep score with vibes. You keep score with completions. Results will translate your language for them later. Pain is cyclical. It arrives in waves. You ride them by building rhythm. When it surges, you lean in with controlled aggression. When it recedes, you reload. Food, water, breath, reflection. This rhythm makes you sustainable. The all-or-nothing amateur sprint until they shatter, then hide. The professional pulses. They know the season. They know the week. They know the day. They know the hour. They know when to squeeze and when to step back a half inch so the machine can exhale and come again harder. Focus is your multiplier. Heart brings noise. The brain chases exits. You pull it back with a trigger, a word, a breath count, a posture reset. Shoulders down and back, eyes still, hands set. You re-enter the moment you are in, not the stories around it. If you train this for weeks, your ability to hold attention under pain will exceed most people's baseline on their best day. That advantage makes your work look like talent. It is not. It is attention under load. You will build a bad day protocol. When life hits you from the side, you don't abandon standards. You compress them. Minimum effective day. One clean meal. One training set with perfect form. One 90-minute work block on the top leverage task. One honest conversation where needed. Lights out on schedule. That is your floor. The floor is what makes consistency real. People without a floor fall through the day and call it fate. You have a floor, so you fall onto progress. You will stop leaking strength through your mouth. Complaining is a tax on the energy you need to move. You do not narrate the pain to gain sympathy. You convert it into work to gain outcomes. This does not make you stoic for theater. It makes you quiet because your breath is busy, your hands are busy, your mind is busy. You will be amazed how much faster the hurt fades when you stop giving it free advertising. If you are in a set and the bar slows, you do not panic. You stick to cues. Drive through heels. Keep the chest up. Hips under. Finish. If you are in a conversation and tension rises, you do not babble. You ask the clear question. You state the clear boundary. You make the clear ask. If you are in a sprint and your legs scream, you do not phrase a poem about fatigue. You stay tall, relax the face, keep cadence smooth. Cues pull you through. Pick them now. Memorize them. Deploy on command. There will be days when the hurt is not physical. It's the sting of betrayal. The disappointment of a result that didn't match the work. The grief of a loss that does not care about your schedule. On those days, standing up looks different. It's showing up to the baseline tasks so your life doesn't unravel. It's protecting sleep so tomorrow's brain isn't degraded. It's moving your body lightly to keep the chemicals honest. It is speaking to someone who won't let you lie to yourself. Pain lives in the body and mind. You address both with respect and accuracy. Set your environment to make courage cheap. Courage is expensive in a messy room, a cluttered desktop, a phone within reach, and an undefined task. It becomes cheaper in a clean space, a single open tab, a phone in another room, and a task written as a verb and a number. You do not rise above your environment. You are shaped by it. Shape it first, so when the hurt arrives, you have fewer battles to fight. Use time constraints. Hurt expands if the task has no edge. Give the effort a container. 45 minutes to drive the needle on the one revenue action that matters today. 90 minutes to produce 1,000 words. 60 minutes to build and ship a draft. Constraints squeeze indecision out of your process. Under constraint, the brain cuts theatrics and does math. Math wins. Outputs rise. You will build tolerance to embarrassment. Standing up when it hurts in public requires the ability to look imperfect. Shaky last reps. Rough first drafts. Early attempts that invite critique. Good. Public attempts accelerate learning. You gather information faster than the hidden perfectionist who quietly decays while waiting to feel ready. You won't die from an ugly rep. You might die from never having the courage to put a rep on the board. Track meaningful metrics, not vanity, not what looks good on a dashboard. Track the behaviors that move the outcome. If you want strength, track sets, reps, load, tempo, recovery. If you want revenue, track real offers, sent, conversations opened, deals closed. If you want skill, track hours of deliberate practice and shipped projects. If you want a relationship to heal, track honest check-ins and repaired breaches. Numbers protect you from stories when the hurt tries to spin you into lies. Your circle matters. Surround yourself with people who understand that standing up when it hurts is the normal cost of doing meaningful work. They do not romanticize it. They do not fear it. They do not tell you to quit because they are uncomfortable with their own reflection. They ask better questions. Where did form break? What lever will move this faster? Are you resting enough to come back harder? They celebrate completions, not drama. They keep you honest. Fear will dress up as wisdom. It will say the pain is a sign to stop everything, to retreat to safety indefinitely. Sometimes the wisest move is strategic withdrawal. You will know that by criteria, not feelings. If form is clean and systems are sound, you stay. If form is trash and systems are chaos, you step back, rebuild, and re-enter with precision. Wisdom without criteria is just fear with big words. You require criteria. Set clear failure rules. You attempt the heavy lift 3 times with strict form. If it does not move, you deload by a defined percentage. Get quality volume and come again next cycle. You pitch the client by a certain date. If no, you follow up twice, then archive and move to the next. Failure rules keep you from emotional spirals. They convert no into next instead of letting no become never. You will learn to end sets on your terms. In life, as in training, many people quit at the first loud signal. You do not. You end the set when the rep is complete or when form would break on the next rep. You finish meetings with clear next steps. You close writing sessions at a natural boundary, not in the middle of a sentence you were too afraid to fight through. You finish because finishing is a muscle. You train it daily. Pain sharpens gratitude if you let it. When you stand up through it, you begin to respect quiet days. You taste food differently because you earned hunger. You sleep like a child because you emptied the tank clean. You appreciate simple wins because you know what they cost. Gratitude is not a poster. It is recognition of reality. It stabilizes mood so you can return to the edge without needing a parade to walk there. You are not at war with yourself. You are leading yourself. The part of you that wants ease is not evil. It is primitive. It wants to keep you safe and still. You thank it for its input, and you choose the mission. You do not scream at it. You out-organize it. You present a plan. We are lifting at this time. We are writing this many words. We are calling these people. We are sleeping at this hour. The primitive accepts leadership when leadership is consistent. If you crave inspiration, earn it. Inspiration respects those already in motion. Start the task and watch motivation show up late to work like it always does. By then, you'll be halfway done. Inspiration will get credit for a job your discipline did. Let it. You're too busy finishing to argue about credit. Standing up when it hurts changes how you see time. You stop burning days in anticipation of perfect conditions. You use small windows. 10 minutes becomes plenty to send a pitch or do a focused set or clean a section of your environment. Micro wins stack into macro identity. Waiting for a 3-hour block is why last month looks like the one before it. Seize the fragments. They add up fast. The hardest part is not the peak pain. It's the quiet after, when your brain tries to rewrite history and tell you it wasn't worth it. Capture your wins in writing. A journal, a whiteboard, a log. Note the variables. Note the feeling afterward. Note the next adjustment. This is not diary fluff. It is operations. Your future self will face the same hurt and need proof that standing is profitable. Provide the proof now. When you train your body, include carries, load in hands, walk. The symbolism is not subtle. Carry weight with posture. Do not rush. Do not sway. Breathe and move. Life is carries, projects, responsibility, reputation, promises. Carries teach you to hold shape while the hands ache. Carries build your grip on your own life. When you train your mind, include deliberate boredom. Sit with one problem and do not switch inputs. The first 10 minutes, the brain will itch. You hold it. Minutes 11 through 20, you will feel average. Keep going. After that, depth appears. Depth is where solutions live that scatterbrains never find. Depth under mild pain is where your leverage hides. You will cut the phrase "I deserve" from your vocabulary. You deserve what your standards deliver and what reality pays you for. Replace entitlement with evidence. Replace fantasy with effort. Replace projection with production. When you stand up through hurt often enough, you stop asking to be given and start insisting on earning. The world respects that, even when it argues against it out loud. You are not the weather. You are the builder that works in whatever weather arrives. Rain, heat, wind. You adjust the plan and continue. You do not eat because it is sunny. You do not train because it is cloudy. You do not write because the mood is right. You do these things because they are on the plan, and the plan builds you. Mood stabilizes when you stop worshiping it. There will be a moment in almost every session, project, or conversation where quitting will make beautiful sense. Your brain will present a slideshow of relief. This is the decision fork. You do not need a speech. You need a sentence. Finish the set. Close the loop. Do what you said. Then you act while the sentence is still warm. That window matters. Miss it, and you fall into the old groove. Hit it, and the new groove deepens. Your vision doesn't need to be poetic. It needs to be precise. Not be better, but become the person who completes 5 heavy sessions weekly, ships 2 deliverables, grows revenue by this %, sleeps 8 predictable hours, and keeps promises in relationships without dramatics. Precision gives pain context. Pain without context is noise. Pain with context is a toll booth on the road you chose. When you stand up through the hurt, you also give other people permission to raise their standard. You do not preach at them. You model in front of them. Your presence becomes a mirror. Some will turn away. A few will adjust their posture. Those few are your people. Build with them. Excellence spreads by exposure, not by argument. The payoff is not a single day where pain disappears forever. The payoff is a life where pain loses its power to govern you. It arrives, you nod. You breathe. You work. You recover. You return. Your confidence is now memory, not myth. You can count the days you finished under fire. You can count the reps you locked out when the bar slowed. You can count the calls you made while your throat tightened. You own numbers that contradict the story that once drove you. There is a quiet satisfaction that replaces the old high of shortcuts. It floods in after clean effort. It does not need applause. It does not post itself. It sits in the chest and makes you steady. That steadiness will scare the part of the world addicted to drama. Let it. Your steadiness will also attract responsibility and opportunity. Be selective. Say yes to the weight that matches your mission. Say no to the weights that pull you into other people's spirals. Stand up when it hurts. When the run bites, keep your cadence clean. When the email bruises your ego, send 2 more. When the offer is ignored, sharpen it and ship again. When the meeting heats, stay factual and finish the sentence that matters. When the cue hits in training and your legs shake, drive through with technique. When the mind yells to hide, you step forward, because forward is the only direction that compounds. This is not a phase. This is a standard. Standards do not argue. They repeat. You will repeat until the day others call you lucky. They will not see the mornings. They will not feel the lungs. They will not taste the metal in your mouth from that last set. They will not know the nights you shut the screen and chose sleep over numbness. They will not witness the conversations you repaired. They will see outcomes and guess. Let them guess. You will be busy with the next rep. So here we are again, at the edge. The bar is loaded. The document is open. The phone is in your hand with the number on the screen. The room is quiet enough to hear your own pulse. It will hurt. Good. That's the toll. Pay it. Breathe, brace, execute, review, repeat. Stand up when it hurts, not because you're trying to impress anyone, but because that's who you decided to be, and you're tired of living beneath your own line. Put your name on the work. Finish the rep. Walk it back in with control. Log it. Set the next target. Tomorrow, do it again with better form and less noise. You do not need lighter days. You need a heavier backbone, built by consistent, intelligent exposure to hard things you choose. Build it. Today. In this minute. While it hurts. Especially while it hurts. Because pain is the door, and standing is the key, and on the other side is the life where you trust yourself under load. That, not comfort, is the point.